What's the only thing worse than food inflation lately? Your utility bill.
If we actually lived in a fair world where everybody was treated equally, we wouldn't be slaving away doing nothing while other people get paid to watch us work.
I want to know what the fuck is happening.
What about rents? What about food? What about daycare? What about gas? Like, what about like feminine hygiene products? Like, how do they expect us to live? Like, who can afford a $565 electricity bill?
Ridiculous. $626 fucking dollars.
Every month I tell myself, maybe this bill won't be so bad. Then I open it and I'm just there staring at it like, damn, when did keeping the lights on get to this point? Check this out.
That's what I say. Hell yeah, Democrats. Hell motherfucking yeah. When I say my AES bill has been like, I promise y'all, I done paid like maybe 1,200 like twice, six set like, and then the next month it'd be like three, two. Like what? And now I'm just now understanding the CEO. What is really going on in Indiana? Like I really want to know, but I am definitely here for the hearings. So this is T. If you live here in Indiana, I guess the Democrats or whatever they about to start doing hearings or I don't know. I'm gonna say this because I ain't trying to put some shit out that I don't know. I'm trying to figure out myself because I'm trying to be inside of the hearings too, so y'all can hear my voice. I like to talk, baby. So what's the fucking tea? But yeah, nah. Straight up, I want to know. So if y'all know anything about like the AES hearings and where they gonna be, what time they gonna be, what's the fucking date, give me some more information because I'm trying to figure out of like why how my AES bill be like $1,000 and then the next month it be like 200. I'm trying to figure out why the hell are we just keep on paying the shit. And they said they gonna ask questions. We don't need to ask questions. Said we need to look through their books and figure out what the hell to stop them. They like we need to put a motherfucking end to this high ass shit. How about that? But I do want to know. So if y'all know anything about it, Democrats or I just want to know. So hit me up with some information, dates, please.
So I need a electrician, someone who works for the electric company, someone who does electric surveying. I don't know. I've been having this debate when it comes to using window units. So in our house, we do not have central air. We now have 4 window units, one for each bedroom and one for the downstairs. What is better? Should I turn it off if we're not using it for multiple hours? Should I put it on eco mode so that it comes and goes? Should I put it on a timer? If I put it super low, does that actually make it charge me more than if I leave it at like the 71 because it's running all the time anyway? Tell me. Because I've Googled it, I've searched, I can't find it. It doesn't have it in the manuals like, oh, this will charge you more electricity than this. And now that we have 4 as opposed to 2 when we started living at this house, we don't know what to do. And our electric bill was like $400 with this heat. So I'm curious. Someone who knows these things, comment, tell me, send me where to find this information because I just don't know. Thank you.
What's the only thing worse than food inflation lately? Your utility bill. Now, we haven't seen utility inflation this bad since the 70s and the 80s. Electric bills have skyrocketed by 27% since early 2021. Now, things have gotten so bad that almost one fifth, 20% of American families could not afford to pay at least one electric bill over the past 12 months. Inflation of electric bills has outpaced food inflation over the past 2 years. And remember, food prices have skyrocketed so much that they are taking a 3-decade high share of people's incomes. And let's not forget just how much money people are paying for their rent. Rent prices have soared in relation to people's income over the past few decades. Now, keep in mind that things are only expected to get worse from here because AI is terribly electricity greedy. The demand on the US electric grid from AI is expected to increase by 5 times in 4 years by 2028. You should check out the video I did previously on why AI will cause electricity demand to skyrocket.
If you get your Eversource bill out, this is what I want you to do. You'll see charges that don't just cover the cost of the electricity that you use. And most people, as you know, they don't even realize what they're paying for. A lot of them are on auto pay and they don't even look at the bills. The first one, there's something called a transmission fee, which could equate to around 50 to 60 bucks per month. And this covers the cost of maintaining the power lines that deliver the electricity. They're called power plants, right? Those power plants basically administer the electricity into something called substations. Every state has a substation. Then it goes from the substations to your homes. Now, this is a fee that is regulated federally, but the problem is Massachusetts has shut down almost all of its coal and nuclear power plants over the past decade. So in turn, we are importing more electricity from out of state. And basically what that does is make that transmission fee more expensive. It's all about making things more expensive, right? For you guys, that's all it is. Then there's something called the local delivery fee. And no, there's not some guy with electricity in his backpack going to your meter base and delivering electricity. This basically is around $140 to $150 a month for most customers, okay? This covers the cost of Eversource to basically maintain the hardware, right? The power lines, the poles, the meters, so on and so forth, right? And basically bring the electricity from the substations into your home. Okay. Now, this charge is one that is regulated by the Massachusetts Department of Public Utilities, meaning the Healy administration has the power to reject these increases, at least to my knowledge.
Let's see what this month's electric bill is. Last month it was $527, and that was before the snowstorm. $626.05. Unbelievable. Honestly, I'm a little relieved because I was thinking it was probably going to be at least $800. $626 fucking dollars for an electric bill. My energy usage. Okay, so I have a base monthly electric charge of $25. Then my energy usage, $134.48. Then the electric power recovery charge, $459.58. For a grand total of $619.06, county tax of $1.50, state consumption tax of $5.49, total amount due $626.05. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. $626 fucking dollars.
Okay, y'all. I got a rant. I'm sorry. So I'm out doing Uber, and I opened up my electricity bill to see how much my bill was this month. Y'all, look at this. Y'all see this? Supply and they charged me $236.57 just to deliver my electric. Like, you don't even touch it. Do you know how long it would take to pay that bill? Like, our minimum wage is $15 an hour, right? It would take 37 hours, which is out of a 40-hour work week, just to pay my electricity bill. What about rents? What about food? What about daycare? What about gas? Like, what about like feminine hygiene products? Like, how do they expect us to live? Like, who can afford a $565 electricity bill? I'm sorry. Let me calm down. But I just can't get over the fact that my first apartment, a 1-bedroom in the city, brand new construction, was $600 in 2008. Now I'm paying $2,500 for a 3-bedroom house and almost $600 for electricity.
Well, hello and good morning. Okay, so California. I don't know if y'all aware of this or not, but it's about to be a whole lot of changes to everybody's electric bill. Look at this.
Your electric bills may be going up. Today, the California Public Utilities Commission approved a $24 month fixed charge, but the cost of electricity is supposed to decrease per kilowatt hour. Eyewitness News reporter Leticia Waters explains. Some say the fee does not reward those who use less energy.
You see what I mean? They're always trying to figure out a way to dig in our pockets. I gotta know what the people saying, because this don't sound right.
Protesters upset over the California Public Utility Commission's controversial vote to allow the state's big investor-owned utilities to add a fixed charge to customers' power bills. A flat fee of $24.15 per month was approved.
Approved by whom? Because we didn't get no vote. See, I feel like y'all telling us one thing, but it's gonna be a whole nother thing. Explain.
Supporters say it will help pay for installing and maintaining equipment, while customers will see the price of their electricity go down by 5 to 7 cents per kilowatt hour.
I mean, that sounds all fine and dandy, but why do we gotta help y'all maintain y'all's equipment? I don't like it. Somebody make it make sense.
But opponents say it's not a fair exchange for some people who will see their electric bill go up, while heavy power users will see their bills go down.
Wait, what? How that supposed to work?
Does not reward people who use less energy. It does not reward people who've invested in rooftop solar.
Oh, see, now y'all gonna strike a nerve, because you know how many people in the state of California that invested in solar? You know how many people still paying on that solar system on top of their house? Like, this don't sound too good, I don't know. But like, what parts of California is this supposed to be taking effect?
The new fee will apply to customers of Southern California Edison, San Diego Gas and Electric, and Pacific Gas and Electric.
Oh, hell, that's about 80% of the state. I'm just trying to figure out what's the point of this. Y'all say it's gonna lower prices, but it's not really lowering prices, so I'm confused.
The new bill structure also hopes to transition the state into clean energy.
Does it really?
This has absolutely nothing to do with green energy. In fact, it reverses the incentive.
Yeah, I agree with him. This ain't got nothing to do with none of that. This got everything to do with that corporate greed I was talking about earlier this week. But I need to know, when this supposed to kick in?
The flat fee will go into effect next year.
See, so y'all telling me not only is gas prices not about to go down, but our electricity's about to go up now? Oh no, we're going to have to do something about this.
Yeah, see, what they don't want us to know is that you don't have to pay a monthly bill for electricity. There's other things you can do, and those are the things that I talk about being able to be done. Now, for example, if you had a water tower 50 foot high, and you had a series of 3 or 4 turbine generators. Now, what a turbine generator is a shaft with a turbine on the bottom that spins as the water passes through it. And when that shaft spins the turbine, or when the water spins the turbine, the shaft spins a generator, and the generator creates electricity. And there's wires and coils and magnets and stuff that you don't need to understand to know it works, but it does work. Much the same way. I don't know if any of you remember back when we were kids, you'd get a little headlight for your bicycle and it had a little generator, and you put the generator on your frame, and then the little wheel would go against your tire. And as you rode, the headlight would light up. Why? Because the generator is collecting electricity. They're creating electricity. Scale that up bigger, and you can actually do that. So if you had a tank with, 10,000 gallons of water, and below that tank, you had a series of turbine generators. Say you had 3 of them, whatever, fuck it. And they're all getting fed out of this tank. And the water comes down, spins these generators, goes into a reservoir. And then you got out of that reservoir, you got a pump powered by those turbine generators to pump that water back up to the tank. You have an endless electricity supply because the turbine generators are going to create the power that powers the pump that pumps the water back up to the tank that allows it to come back down and keep the generator spinning. Now, what that all means is that you can actually build a system and create power for yourself or for towns, neighborhoods, without needing to pay an electric company to burn fuel to create it for you and get it to you. Now, granted, there's always startup costs at shit like this, don't get me wrong, but my point is it's possible. And it's not just possible, it's actually not that hard to fucking do. In fact, we could truly be living free lives instead of being slaves to the system if they just gave us actual freedom instead of controlling what we have access to, what we don't have access to, and the knowledge that they created for us to get. Let's put it that way. I mean, the whole entire school system, everything you're taught is a system designed by a government to keep you dumb enough to think that the only way to survive is to go to work, punch a clock, earn money, go to the grocery store, buy your food, cook the food, order out, pay your bills, pay your car insurance, pay all it. The only thing that's changed is we get to make decisions about what color clothes we wear and what color cars we drive. We're still fucking slaves to the system that we exist in, but we don't have to be. Not only do we not have to be, if we actually manage to pull off some kind of blue collar working man's, we'll let the white collar people in too. They deserve freedom. Don't get me wrong. But if we actually manage to pull off some kind of blue collar working man's revolution, we could take control of it all, and then we could change the way life is lived for everybody in the world. Start with the country and let it expand from there if you want. I don't care. Start whatever country you're in watching me from. The point is, we are not told the truth. We do not actually know what we're capable of. We do not actually know what technology exists. And more importantly, if we actually lived in a fair world where everybody was treated equally, we wouldn't be slaving away doing nothing while other people get paid to watch us work. Have a good one.
So give me your opinion on this, but my electric bill last month was $200. Okay, that's pretty high. We in Texas, it's hot. We're running out AC. This month, it was $265. How the hell did it get to $265? How we use $65 more worth of electricity? I don't get it. We didn't do nothing special this month. Then next month, the motherfucker gonna say, "Oh yeah, you're projected to spend $300 worth of electricity." How? How? What are we doing? What are we doing? Like, this motherfucker's about to be a significant bill at this point. Like, it ain't gonna be insignificant no more. Not a minor bill anymore. We actually got to start thinking about the electric bill. What the fuck? There's only two of us. And yeah, granted, I do have an electric car, but when I looked at the stats, I'm only spending $34 extra a month to charge my car in the garage 5 days out the week. So let me know what your opinion is. How much y'all spending on your electric? And should we be spending that much in this Texas heat? Because this is crazy. This is insane.
I said in my earlier video, like on the very first one that you see that's pinned there, I talked about how the rates and what people are charged for utilities is an act of violence. It's an act of socioeconomic violence on vulnerable communities in this area. When I moved here, I never in my life thought I would be paying $1,000 for utilities for at least a couple months in a row. I never thought that our savings would slowly dwindle down due to that. I couldn't believe it. And I started talking to everybody else, and they're like, yeah, we can't even afford to pay ours. And I thought, what the fuck? And then I started looking into the Bitcoin mine. I'm going to do a part two.
If it feels like everything is getting more expensive these days, besides your $8 lattes that are somehow creeping up to 10, it's because it is. And this time, it's not tariffs or oil. Well, not only that, your electricity bill went up. Your electronics are somehow costing even more. Xbox raised prices for the third time in 13 months if you're into that kind of thing. Tim Cook, Apple CEO, said this week that costs have jumped more than anything he's seen in 40 years. And that includes the COVID supply chain collapse when container ships were backed up for months. A single chip shortage shut down entire industries. Now, Elon Musk, a man who agrees with Tim Cook on nothing, replied, biggest price jump in anything I've ever seen too. Although it's great that they're in harmony, it's not so much for us that it is on this. And the reason for these prices is, you might have guessed it, AI. But let me explain. Apple raised prices on iPads and Macs this week. Xbox raised prices for the third time in 13 months. Nintendo raised Switch prices. And for context on how weird the Cook-Musk agreement is, Musk once threatened to ban all Apple devices from his companies over their OpenAI partnership. Tim Cook refused to even take Musk's call when Tesla was struggling. There's been beef. These two don't get along. We love billionaire petty drama, but they're both publicly admitting the same thing, which is that AI infrastructure costs are fully out of control. And that should tell you something. And none of it is because of tariffs. It is because the same chips that go into your phone, your laptop, your gaming console are all being bought up in bulk, Costco style, by AI data centers at premium prices. You are literally competing with frontier labs. There's a windowless building in the desert that needs the same parts you do, and they are outbidding you for them by a long shot. I don't know your net worth, but I'm betting they have like hundreds of billions of dollars more than you to spend. Your gadgets are getting more expensive because ChatGPT needs more memory chips than you. The numbers are quite large. 5 companies, Alphabet owns Google, Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, and Oracle. They're spending a total of $741 billion this year on AI infrastructure. That is up 75% from last year. And that money is going into data centers, which need 3 things in enormous quantities. Those 3 things are chips, electricity, and cooling. They're hoovering up supply and driving up costs for everything that touches the same supply chain, which is actually quite a lot. Now, electricity is the one that hits you at home the hardest. Goldman Sachs says the data centers are going to eat nearly half of all US power demand growth through 2030. Half is like a lot, and consumer electricity prices are expected to climb about 6% a year for the next 2 years. If you live anywhere near a data center, and more Americans do every month, your utility bill is going up because Meta needs enough power to run a small city next door, and they'll pay whatever it costs. Your bill adjusts accordingly. There is one winner in this, which is electricians. Their wages are up 6.5% because data center construction is bidding up every contractor in the country, which also means that building housing, schools, and offices, that all costs more too. So the AI boom is seeping out of the AI economy. It's leaking into everyday life. Now, 81% of economists in a recent survey said that the AI build-out will add to inflation over the next year, which isn't great. The Fed chair is betting that AI eventually makes everything cheaper through productivity. Eventually is really the key word there. Congrats if you're an electrician, but your iPad still just got $300 more expensive. The kicker is that unlike tariffs, which are a one-time hit, or oil prices, which spike and fall, AI demand could last years. Tech companies have already committed the money. The construction hasn't even peaked. We're arguably just getting started. This is a new baseline, not a temporary shock. So the optimistic version of this, and there is one, I promise, is that you are watching infrastructure get built for the future. And once the data centers exist, they don't need to be rebuilt every year. Spending peak passes, and if AI actually does deliver on the incredible productivity gains that everyone is promising, then everyone's going to celebrate. The cost of intelligence drops, and eventually everything gets cheaper. Yay. AI companies need so much power these days that the existing grid can't keep up, so they're quite literally building their own. Microsoft restarted 3 Mile Island. Google is building geothermal plants from scratch, which is to say they're so electricity desperate, they're incidentally funding a clean energy build out that benefits everyone long after the AI spending peaks, which is good. Experts are actually saying that AI will be massively deflationary, which is very possible. But the argument here is there's short-term pain, long-term gain. I don't know about you, but I've never paid an electricity bill that's higher than the last and thought this is going to be great in the long term, but it is something to remember. The infrastructure costs a fortune, but the idea is once it's built, kind of like roads or train tracks, it changes the economics of everything in the way we live. Whether that eventually arrives before your budget breaks is the question nobody can answer yet. So the AI boom has promised to make everything cheaper and smarter. So far, it's made things cost more. I will continue tipping on my $10 latte, hoping that space data centers solve this eventually.
We're not talking about fancy vacations or expensive shopping sprees. We're talking about basic necessities. If simply living is getting harder where you are, your voice deserves to be heard. I'll see you in the next one. Make sure you hit the like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you turn on your notification bell for following videos coming up soon. Happy every day.